This is Jimmy from A Distorted Perception. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to get Mixwave's Gojira to go from this to this. So let's get started. Alright, so you just heard how it sounds in a demo. This is a distorted perception track because I used a lot of this Gojira kit in the actual release itself. So let's check out the drums, see what we got here. So this is the updated version where they now have this timbali high and timbali low and this babar. I think he calls it. Yeah, babar. It's an instrument that Mario used on some of the old records, and he wanted to include it in this library. So when they did the update, they included this and the timbales. So originally it was everything that you see here, but just the 3 toms, 2 racks, a floor, all these different cymbals, snare, kicks. They added the timbales and the babar after. Yeah, I really like them. One of the downsides when I first got this was I didn't feel that it had enough toms, and I really like the sound of the toms in this kit. So what I used to do was make a Franken kit, put 2 of these in here, and then down tune one of the kits and just load the 2 toms, and that way I could have 5 toms instead of just 3. All right, so let's go through the mixer page here. We got the mix and boost. They have the snare reverb, snare shimmer, tom reverb that you can route out also. The mix and the boost is for the kick, the snare, and the room. So that gives you the extra samples to reinforce the kick and the snare. This snapshot is the default kit that I just saved, so it maps to the Duality 2 in Easy Drummer. So I have it mapped to this, so I can actually use this song that I created in the song creator and moved into Easy Drummer, so that way I could make this demo. So it's actually triggering this Duality 2 kit, but there's no actual sound coming out of the Duality 2 kit. It is just triggering this kit right here. I have another video that shows you how to do this. You can do Easy Drummer 3, Easy Drummer 2 into any contact drums quickly and easily, so that way you can use the song creator, the grooves, however you want to do it, and everything will work out perfectly or exactly how you want it to be set up. Pick and choose whatever drums you want, trigger whatever drums. If you want to make a Franken kit and trigger multiple kits, you can do that. So we got the kick, snare, rack 1, rack 2, floor toms, timbali high, timbali low, overhead room, hi-hat ride, splash, China, China 2, plate, babar, overhead room. If we go here to the mapping page, we can actually hear each one. So here's the kick, hit, wires off, side stick wires off, the roll, rack tom 1, rim, rack tom 2, rim, floor tom, rim, timbale high, rim shot, timbale low, rim shot, tight tip. So these are all the hi-hat articulations. Tight tip, tip closed, edge closed, open 1, open 2, open 3, open 4, open 5, open 6, pedal check, pedal splash. For the ride, we got the bow, bell tip, bell edge, the crash, the manual choke. Crash 1, choke, manual choke, which will, if you have a hit, boom, manual choke it. Crash 2, choke, and then the manual choke. Splash, choke, manual choke. China 1, choke, manual choke. China 2, choke, manual choke. The plate, and you can manually choke that. And then the babar, you got the tip, the edge, the mallet, and then manual choke, and then the clicks. So it's a very diverse kit. What you can change out, you got 2 different Chinas on the left-hand side. You have the 18-inch, 16-inch. And it actually changes here in the GUI. Over here, you just have 1 China, China 2. And I think the rest of the symbols are all, yeah, you can't change those out. Same with the timbales, the babar, and the toms. You have 1 kick, which sounds great. It's got enough click to it, cuts through, but also has enough beef to it. I really like the kick in this one. Snares, we have a few different choices. So you got the brass, which is the one you heard. That's my favorite. Wood. And then the SLP. Bit more of a ring to it. I haven't used this one very often, but if you're looking for a nice ringy snare, this one's good. Or if you want to layer it into a different kit, that's a good one to add some ring to. So that is, yeah, the entire Mario Duplantier's Gojira kit. And you heard it in a mix. What we'll do now is I'll play back that section. This is with my my processing on it. So if we turn everything off, this is how it sounds with no processing whatsoever. Which sounds great. Because these kits are mix ready, you don't need to do a lot to them to get them to sound great. So I do very minimal processing just to get them to really cut through or tweak it to fit into a particular mix. So let's turn everything back on. So we'll go over a little bit of processing. We'll keep the instrumental in there so you can hear it, how it fits into a mix. So on my master bus, I have Gulf False, virtual tape machine, a little bit of bus compression, not much. L2 for volume, and then my RIA stream for OBS. The instrumental, what I always do for all instrumental is I have the FG Gray nollie trick that keeps the snare above everything else. It's a pretty fast attack with a super fast release. And that'll just clamp down on the snare and push the instrumental down, so that way your drums stay prominent without chopping off too much of the transient. So that's a must. I don't run the vocals through that, but I do run everything else. And then the FG Red trick, just to add a little bit more light. You can check this out here if you want to copy these settings. For the drum bus, I have the parallel compression set to 35%. I'm looking from anywhere to 5 to 10 when the snare is hitting. And I have my attack at 8, release at 2.6. And the high pass on, the mid bump on, and a 20-to-1 ratio. For the FGM, right around 6K, I have a 2.36 dB bump, and 102, I have a 2 dB bump. Not doing anything on this. And then a trim if I need it, but I don't need it for this. For the kick, I just have, this is an actual preset called Cut Through, and it kind of just bumps up the click in there and clamps down on the lows if they get a little out of control. For the rack toms, I just have the Saturn II, pumping a little bit of warm tape in the high end, lowering this by 8 dB with some warm tape on it, and then a clean tube with not much on it whatsoever. And then I just put a limiter on it to make sure everything stays consistent. For the room, I just have a little bit of Saturn at the crossover at 250, warm tape at 70%, and I think I have the mix at 38.82%, and warm tape with nothing on it on the low end. And then my go-to for all the brass, I run all the brass at Unity, run it through one track, group it together, high pass to 207, a little bit minus 3.84 with a pretty wide band here at 6500. These cymbals tend to be a little thin and a little high end for me, but that's how most cymbals I feel are, so I like them a little darker, so I always put that on there. Some C2 at 40% mix to keep everything even and consistent, and then good old Soothe on the cymbal too. And that is it. These Mixwave kits are great. They come mix ready, and you could just throw them into a mix. You don't really need to do all this. I enjoy doing this part of it, but if you want to fit it to certain songs, certain genres, and you got to do a little bit of tweaking, it's not a bad idea to route everything out. Just do a little bit of processing. The name of the game here, though, is to not over-process, because they are 100% mix ready out of the box. So you don't want to do a whole bunch to it and really over-process it, because it's going to sound weird. But this was a little demo, review, some mix tips here for the Mixwave Mario Duplantier's Gojira drum plugin. It's my favorite one that Mixwave has put out. It's one of the earlier ones too, but it overall sounds great. These toms, love the toms. Kick's got enough beef, enough cut through. Snare's got crack. It's got beef to it also. And then once they added these extra toms and this babar, it's got everything you need. Well, it's got everything I need, at least. So if you like this video, comment, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and let me know in the comments if you want to see anything else. I do own the Luke Holland. I own Crim drums. I do also have some Easy Drummer 3 stuff. It's a great tool. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. All right, you have a good day.